got my soul in eclipse overtaking. My defense is for you, the altar call from my saving. Ooh, take me higher, take me higher.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another Q8 pilot stream. It is 2100 hours local time, 1800 Zulu time for our stream this evening. I want to welcome all of you guys in chat to this flight service from Venice at to Olbia. I hope I said that correctly. We have with us today Rand Cooley, Amari, Joseph, Morgus, Dougal, McTavish, Stan. Hello, Stan. Welcome, guys. Glad to have you here. Chris, welcome aboard, my friend. Glad to have you here with us. Hello, Alex. Welcome aboard. We also have to deal with a Simulago. I hope that I said that correctly, from Brazil. Welcome aboard. Mehdi, welcome aboard. Glad to have you here with us this evening. And I hope that you guys enjoy the flight today. Hi, Chris. How are you doing, my friend? Volanta. Volantia. Yeah, Volantia. It is alive. That's right. That's right, Stan. Yeah, thank you very much. Benny, welcome aboard. So the weather today here in Venice is absolutely horrendous, as you can see here. So we've got, again, limited IFR for our departure today. Hopefully we can take off without incident. But yeah, the weather in Europe has been really, really bad lately. Hopefully we can depart Venice today without incident and head over to our destination airport, Lima, India, Echo, Oscar, hopefully without incident. Let me give you guys a quick brief on our flight plan. This is Volanta here. And we'll take a look at Volanta here. They've made some really nice changes to, let me maximize this here so you guys can see. They've made really some nice changes to the menu. It is more user-friendly now. Everything is laid out properly. You've got your map, you've got your flights, the aircraft's activities, all that good stuff, the schedules. So we can look at the flight briefing here. Again, very nicely done by the guys over at ORBX. The Volanta is powered by ORBX. So Volatia is 1212 is a real world flight from Venice to Olbia Smeralda, Costa Smeralda. And we are going to be departing today, runway 16 right, through the anti-Quebec departure, arriving into, I beg your pardon, we're departing Venice number 22 left through the G6 Quebec and arriving into our destination, runway 23 through the Gitter 4 Lima arrival. So it should be about an hour or so, a little maybe over 1 hour, maybe 1 hour 10 minutes is the flight time today, and we're going to be cruising at a final cruise altitude of 29,000 feet. So let's get things started here. First thing first, we're going to make sure that the engine mode selector is in the normal position and both engines 1 and 2 switches are in the off position. Our flaps are retracted, speed brake is disarmed, landing gear is down, and heading over here to the overhead panel, we're going to make sure that the battery indicators are more than 25 volts, which they are. We've got 27 and 27.5, and we are now ready to start the external power. So battery 1, battery 2, and now we can turn on the external power. Right, external power is on. And next, we're going to go to, again, the Airbus flows is left to right, bottom to top. So cruise supply is on, ground control is on, the ADDONS, nav 1, nav 2, and nav 3. Everything here looks good to me. All right, we're going to come here to the lights, and we're going to turn on the nav lights on. We're going to turn on the non-smoking sign to auto, and arm the emergency light. Beautiful. Next, we're going to come to the tanks. We're going to turn all of them on and perform the engine 1 fire test, APU fire test, and the engine number 2 fire test as well. Perfect. All tests are okay, and the wipers are both in the off position. We should have checked that as part of the safety check, pre-flight check. Everything here looks good. Everything here looks good. And a quick look here at the engineer panel just to make sure that there are no white lights, which they aren't, so we are good. All right. Next, we're going to go down here to the switching. We're going to make sure all the switches here are in the normal position. We're going to hit the status page here. We can see AP 1 and 2 auto throttle. Obviously, the aircraft isn't powered yet. We have our radios on and VHF 1 selected. Next, we're going to come down here, make sure the cockpit door is locked. Over to the first officer's side, we're just going to make sure VH1 is selected and that the transponder is set to auto. Beg your pardon, it's set to standby. Okay. And everything here looks good to me. All right, we can now start programming the MCDU, but first, let's come over here to the electronic flight bag. All right, perfect. Hello there, Rick. Welcome aboard. Glad to have you here. Renan D. Oliveira, welcome aboard. Osama Mohammed, welcome aboard, my friend. Glad to have you here with us this evening. I hope you enjoy the flight. And, of course, this stream is sponsored by ORBX, so many thanks to the guys over at ORBX for sponsoring the stream and providing us with an early access of our destination airport today, which we will be taking a detailed look at once we arrive in about an hour from now. All right, let's come here to the electronic flight bag and import our flight from SimBrief. And we'll dismiss that. Okay. And next, we're going to go to ground services. We're going to make sure the GPU chocks are connected here, mass and balance. And we're going to load the aircraft. There we go. And we're just going to say instant and dismiss. And now we have everything here ready. Excellent. All right. So we're going to come now to the MCDU. All right, let's see. Why is it not giving me the view that I want? There we go. Much better. All right, let's go to the MCDU. Again, the correct order is diff strip. So data, init alpha, then flight plan, radio, init bravo, and then, sorry, we forgot the S for secondary, and then the P is for performance. Okay, so we're going to follow the diff strip order. So that's the data. We're going to check that the engine type is the correct engine and the active nav database is the correct nav database. And then we're going to go to init alpha. From init alpha, we're just going to go ahead and say request the flight plan, and it should populate the information there from SimBrief. There we go. We are departing Venice to Olbia, and the alternate airport is Rome. The flight number today is Volatia 1212, and we entered that here. Brilliant. We can bring up our Navigraph charts now for the rest of the information here. So the cost index for the flight today is 46. Brilliant. And the cruise altitude is 29,000 feet. All right. So that is now set. So we are done with D and we are done with init A. So now we're going to go to the flight plan. From the flight plan here, we are going to select the departure. The departure is through runway 22 left today. If we look here, 22 left. So that is 22 left. And the through the G6 Quebec, which is this one here. All right, so insert that. Brilliant. And let's just cycle through here, make sure there are no discontinuities along the flight path. And which, all right, so we're good here. Let's go ahead and select, oops. Let me select return. And, all right, so let's select the arrival. The arrival today is going to be runway 23. So ILS 23 is selected, and it's going to be through the Gitter for Lima. Right, Gitter for Lima, that's the one there. Brilliant. No transitions. Let's say insert, and let's check our flight plan once more just to make sure there are no discontinuities along the flight route. And everything here looking good so far. All is good here, and no discontinuities. Perfect. So now we're done with diff. Now S, so diffs. So S is for the secondary plan. For the secondary plan, we're just going to copy the active, and that is it. And now we can go to the init B, which is our zero fuel and zero fuel CG. So we're going to come here to the aircraft. We have a zero fuel of 6.2 and 31.5. So 62.1 and 30, what was it? 31.5. Okay, 31.5. And put that there. Block fuel today for the flight is 7.2. 7.2. Everything, of course, is in kilograms as we are in Europe. And that is pretty much it here for the MCDU. Now we can go to the performance. And for the performance, we're going to use the electronic flight bag once more and enter the performance data. We are departing runway 22 left. So we select the runway here. Runway surface is dry. Sync the load sheet. Sync the live weather. Calculate. And voila, 152, 152, and 154. So 152, 152. Was it 152 or 154? 152 and 154. All right, transition altitude is set, and flaps 1 down 0.2, flaps 1 and down 0.2. That is there, and the flex temperature is 62. Excellent. 62 is done. Okay, we are done now with the MCDU setup. So diff strip is done. Time for us to start the APU. APU master switch is turned on, and we're going to go ahead and start the APU. And we'll let the cabin crew board the passengers as well. Hello, Merrick. Welcome aboard, my friend. Glad to have you here. How have you been, Benny? I hope you are well, my friend. Is Volanta like New Sky? I'm not familiar with New Sky. But Volanta is like SimToolkit Pro, if you will. It's got scheduled flights, flight tracking. It's really cool. Really, really cool. All right, so we've got our flight plan here. We're going to set this to 10 nautical miles. And we're going to also set the altimeter to 105. Let me reduce the brightness of the displays. I think they're maybe just a tad too bright. So let me reduce that a little bit. There we go. All right. And guys, a quick reminder that we're having a group flight on Thrustmasters Island on Saturday, the 16th of December. Do join me, guys, and come, let's have some fun together. And of course, there will be a giveaway for the Thrustmaster Boeing Captain Pack. So that is going to be up for grabs during the stream. All right. So all is good here. All right. So a couple of things we'd like to do in the MCDU is we want to come to the progress page. We want to make sure that the accuracy is high. And we want to enter LI 22 right. And we want to put it here. Now, the reason I do this is just in case we need to come back to the airport, then we'll have this programmed already, and we'll be able to just come back to the airport. Another thing we want to do in the nav and radio is we have the CHI frequency. All right, so we already have those frequencies programmed, which is cool. And this is set to VOR. Right, so now we'll be able to see the VORs there on the station, on the display here, VR1 and VR2 once we power the aircraft. Okay, we are pretty much ready to go. Everything here is good. We're going to go ahead and turn on the APU bleed and turn off external power. We are pretty much ready to go. One more thing, one more check, if you will, the oxygen mask. Let's test those, make sure they are okay, which they are. All right, and we are ready to start our engines now. So we're going to turn on the beacon light on, and we're going to call the pushback truck. Quickly, let's set the glare shield here, or the MCP. That is set. We'll set this on CSTR or constraints. Our altitude for the flight today is 29,000 feet. So we're going to set that as well. 29,000 feet is now set and cross-checked. All right, with my flight plan. All right, everything's good. And I'm going to set my view here. And let's go ahead and call the pushback truck. All right, and request pushback for departure. We're going to use Venice Airport. Venice. Hello there, Jim. Welcome aboard, my friend. Glad to have you here with us this evening. All right, jetway is moving away.
We are ready for pushback.
Check that accent out. We're definitely going to be using Navigraph map today to taxi to the runway. As you can see, the weather is absolutely dreadful here. Just look at this. Visibility is virtually none. So, yeah.
Departure checks completed. Bypass being inserted.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. The weather is just not very good today. I'm not sure what happened to GSX, but all the GSX vehicles stutter. Not the Sims vehicles, just only GSX. So I'm really not sure what's the deal with it. Okay, let's take a quick look here, make sure everything's good. Where everything is good, we're going to come to the ground services. And from the ground services, we're going to turn off the GPU. All right, the tug is connected to the aircraft. And we are ready to go. All right, so we're going to push nose to the right. Right?
Release parking brakes.
All right, parking brake released.
Commencing the push.
Yeah, Rand, thank God the parking brake releases today.
Contact wind.
All right, and we have clearance to start our engines, so let's go ahead and do that. Let's see here. So engine mode selector and engine number 2 is starting. There we go. Look at just the visibility is virtually none. Very, very bad weather today here in Venice. Venice is, by the way, a beautiful, beautiful city in Italy. The city of love, they call it. And I absolutely enjoyed my time in Venice. Italy as a whole is a beautiful country. Very, very nice country to visit. Hello, Liam. Welcome aboard, my friend. All right. Engine number 2 is coming up. All right, and we have a good start on engine number 2. All right, engine number 2 is good, and let's go ahead and start engine number 1. There's engine number 1 starting. And you can see that the runway is, we're going to need to cross, I believe, runway 2 to right.
Set parking brakes.
All right, parking brake is set.
Waiting your confirmation for a good engine start.
Okay, let's go ahead and confirm engine
Cockpit to
start.
ground. We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
Unlocking the gear.
All right, unlocking the gear. Okay, so very quickly, we're going to come here, set the auto brake to max, and arm the speed brake, and set flaps 1. Point 2 down. It's about right. And everything is done. We are good to go. Last time I was in Milan, Italy, someone tried to rob me. Did not end it well for him. Yeah, that does happen in most European countries.
Tow track disconnected.
So you got to be very careful.
Left is clear. Right is clear.
All right, left is clear, right is clear, and the stuttering seems to have gone. Sometimes it stutters, sometimes it doesn't. So where is this? Where is he? Oh, there she is. Is she done? All right, we'll just wait for the hand signal there. All right, thank you very much for your service. We are good to go. Let's do the quick flight control check. Full up, full down, full left, full right, and pedal full left, full right, and neutral. And the before taxi checklist is complete. Okay, taxi lights are on. We can turn off the engine mode selector, and we can also turn off APU bleed and the APU master, and we can also let's see here, fasten seatbelt signs are on, and we're gonna come here and set the transponder to auto. We'll leave everything here just yet. We're not gonna move it to TARA. And now the aircraft is ready to go. Okay. Parking brake released, and we're gonna bring up Navigraph charts, and this is us right there on Mike. So we're gonna go all the way on Mike to Kilo, and from Kilo we're gonna turn and cross runway 2 to right, and take taxiway Tango all the way to hold short point for runway 22 left. All right, so straight ahead all the way until Kilo. All right, let's notify cabin crew. You can take your seats now for takeoff if you like. All right, takeoff config is tested and all is good. We're just going to wait for the cabin to let us know that everything is secured for takeoff, and we'll be on our way. Again, nice wing view, though we can't really see anything due to the weather. Very, very bad weather today here in Venice, unfortunately, so we'll not be able to enjoy the scenery. But hopefully at our destination it will be a different story. All right, for the completeness sake, we're going to turn on the weather system here and right here, and we'll put terrain on ND on the first officer's side. Okay, and just continue the taxi. I'm going to bring up the Navigraph charts here every now and then just to check on our current position. All right. Looks like it's going to be somewhat of a long taxi here for the runway. Hello, MC Crewfish. Welcome aboard. Yeah, start is already set to normal. I guess all the arguing for a window seat today was futile. Be careful while taxiing. Yes, indeed. I'm looking at chat, so I'm getting carried away there. All right, let me see here. Yeah, there's very little that we can see. Here we are crossing here. All right, so still quite a way for... and we really can't see a thing. Wow. There were a number of flights at Kuwait International that got canceled due to the heavy fog that we've had the last couple of days. All right, cabin ready, and takeoff config no blue, so we are good there. So yeah, a lot of flights were canceled at Kuwait International due to the fog. And it created a lot of issues for air traffic, generally speaking, just the last couple of days. Just a little mist, nothing to worry about. Yeah. Well, according to the weather conditions in Navigraph charts, it's reporting LIFR, which is low instrument flight rule. And this situation is, in most cases, a very problematic situation for pilots. So, all right, so that's Kilo. So we are here at Kilo. We're going to make the turn to the runway, and we're going to taxi on the runway. So here we go. That's, if we can read here, yeah, 2 to right. That's 2 to right. But we're not actually going to... let me see here. So, all right, so that's our turn. That's the turn here. Gee, the weather is just dreadful. Just imagine this without air traffic control. It would be just a nightmare to be able to... all right, so we're just going to go now straight, as you can see here, via Tango. And that will take us to the runway. All right, perfect. All right, cabin is ready. Everything's looking good. At least we can see, there's very limited visibility, but at least we can see just a little bit ahead of us for the departure. RVR 450 meter. Yep, that's visibility is virtually none. For this takeoff, so it's going to be a bit of a challenging takeoff because visibility is very, very limited. So that's 2 to right, and then we're going to taxi via Tango to 2 to left. Hopefully we'll be able to enjoy a little better views once we depart. Would defo be auto land situation? Yeah, it can be an auto land situation. Every time I look to chat, the aircraft just drifts. It can be an auto land situation. Is this even legal? It is legal. Yes, it is indeed legal. Heads-up display. This aircraft does not have a heads-up display, no. But this is definitely legal. Not all pilots are certified to fly in such weather. And in most cases, they will probably ask for an alternate airport. But in our case, I think we are good. We are qualified. All right. Here is the hold short point. Okay, perfect. I can barely see what's in front of me. Let's go ahead and turn on the landing lights. Runway turn off lights. The nose light to takeoff. Strobe lights are on. And here's 2 to left. Let's come here to TCAS goes to TARA. Alrighty. And ladies and gents, we are cleared for takeoff. Runway 2 to left. You got us this far. I trust you. Well, thank you very much for your trust. I hope I live up to your expectations and your trust. All right. The good thing is we can barely see the runway lights, but we can definitely see them. So we are good here. Let's line up the aircraft and hope there aren't any aircraft on the runway. All right. Let's set the brakes. We're going to go to 50%. All right, here's 50% N1. Parking brake released. Manflex 62 SRS and runway 1 FD2 auto throttle armed. V1, rotate. Woof. Wow. Positive rate. Gears going up. We definitely can't see a thing, folks. Fix this. Right, approaching 1,000 feet. Speed check, flaps up. Thrust climb is set. Autopilot 1 engaged. Ground spoilers disarmed. And we are now flying above the fog. Look at that. Finally. Look at this view, guys. You can see the mountain tips there in the distance. What a spectacular view here as we leave Venice, Italy. All right. Let's take a look here. There are a few restrictions here on our way. What I'm going to do now, we're still at 4,000. Let's leave it for the time being. We can turn off the nose light and runway turn off light. We'll leave the landing lights for the time being. All right, excellent. Yeah, definitely a very foggy day. It was a lot better yesterday. But today seems to be a foggy. All right, setting the Barrow to standard. We are at 6,000 feet. There we go, 6 Barrow standard. We're looking good. Continue the climb. A few restrictions in our route today. Hello there, Abdul Abbas. Welcome aboard. Joseph, welcome aboard, my friend. Glad to have you here. It was indeed very cool. All right, look at that. Yeah. So normally in weather conditions like this, you really have to rely on your instruments. And there are many situations where a pilot just got completely disoriented, and it has led to disasters in aviation because of really bad weather conditions. And sometimes fatigue plays a role as well. So those conditions, if you see LIFR, those are not conditions that every pilot is qualified to fly through. So we can now turn off the landing lights, and we're going to release our passengers as well. And let them wander around the cabin as they please. And we are now at 10,000 feet. All right, so at 10,000 feet, a couple of things we need to do here in the MCDU. In the init page, first we're going to change the cost index to 0 to save on fuel. And the next thing is we're going to go to progress, and now we're going to update the airport to our arrival airport. So Lima, India, Echo, Oscar, runway 23, and we're going to stick that here. Now we can see the distance to our destination airport, and it's on a bearing of 200 degrees, about 300 nautical miles before we arrive. Perfect. Now we can go and switch this back to the flight plan, and we'll leave this on perf. And we are obviously climbing, and everything's looking good here. Yeah. Here's a look at the outside. I do have FSLTL running. We forgot our clock like we normally do. But I haven't been able to see any traffic. Probably traffic is grounded here for the time being due to the weather conditions. I will be making a review of a recently released aircraft for X-Plane 12 by Airbus in the coming days. On Saturday, we're going to be doing our group flight on Thrustmasters Island, and then next week it will be all X-Plane content, all X-Plane 12. And I will more than likely start with the Fila 747. I'm planning a flight there for you guys on this really magnificent aircraft engineered by no other than Joe Sutter, the father of the Boeing 747. If you guys like to listen to stories, Joe Sutter's story is a remarkable story about engineering, about family. He was a dedicated family man, but also a very accomplished engineer. And and a very patriotic American of Slovenian descent. Joe served in the military, and he had you know, a wonderful wife and children, and he's the man behind the 747. As a matter of fact, one of the interesting fun facts, if you will, that when they were designing the 747, obviously their biggest customer was Pan American, and they actually, Pan American wanted a double-decker similar to what we had, similar to the A380, which we see today. For anyone taking part in the Saturday's group flight, you will need to download and install Island from Thrustmaster. Thank you very much. I love the Phoenix and really looking forward to the Block 2 release. Yeah, likewise, Dougal. So originally, Pan American, when they wanted the, they gave the funding, or they sponsored the build of the Boeing 747. They were looking for a double-decker, and that's because they were expanding their operations, so they wanted to be able to take passengers but also deliver cargo in the same flight. And when Joe Sutter saw that having a double-decker with the, you know, with the engines at that time and era, he felt that it probably is going to be impossible to have the aircraft be a double-decker. So when they built the hump in the 747, they were all, you know, sort of, you know, on the fence on whether Pan Am is going to accept the model that Joe Sutter has made as a replacement for, you know, the double-decker, which is the hump, you know, the very iconic hump that we see in the 747. And when the guys over at Pan Am looked at the aircraft, they absolutely fell in love with it. It gave them the number of passengers and cargo to deliver. And that has made the 747 one of the most successful aircraft ever built, and remained to be an iconic aircraft until this very day. Unfortunately, there aren't that many 747s flying today because of, you know, all the laws about environment, fuel efficiency. There are lots of cargo flights, 748s, that fly today. I know Lufthansa has one, Etihad, Emirates. Kuwait still has a 74. I'm not sure if it's an 8. I don't think they have the 8 version. Maybe a 400. They still have one of those. Thank you very much, guys, there for posting the link to the Thrustmaster Island. Appreciate it. Hello there, HD Sim. Welcome aboard. Stopping by with a like. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate that. All right. We are now flying above Italian airspace, and here's a look at the beautiful terrain under us beneath the aircraft. There we go. It looks like the weather is now subsiding as we move away from Venice. Lovely. Indeed, can't wait for the Sharklets and the IAE. Yep. Hi, Far Captain. Welcome aboard. This week has been a very tiring week for me, folks. Work was just really hectic. It's one of those weeks, you know, when it's over. So normally the week is over here on Thursday is the last day of the working week, and we have Friday and Saturday off. So on such a hectic week, you know, it just reminds me of retirement. You know, those are the kind of weeks that put my mood in for retirement. And But then, yeah, I like to be busy, to be very frank. But when it turns into, you know, stress and, you know, having to deal with problems and incidents and, you know, long meaningless meetings, that's what I don't like. It just stresses me out. So it has been really a very difficult week at work. Hello there, King. Welcome aboard, my friend. I hope you're enjoying your gift certificate at the X-Plane Org store. Glad to have you here with us this evening. Look at those beautiful engines there. Very nice terrain over Italy. Here again, here's the look for you guys. Volotia. All right, back in the cockpit, we are approaching the top of climb, as you can see here. 26,000 for 29,000. All is looking good here. I'm surprised why we don't see any traffic. Let me check here. Ah, I haven't run this thing. That's why. All right, here we go. Now we should have the traffic. My bad. We'll start to see the traffic in a little bit. About 8 minutes into our flight. Hello, Joseph. Bella Italia. Yeah. Let's take a quick look at our weather in at our arrival airport. Look at this, LIFR, VFR at Costa Smeralda. So if we click here, that will put us. All right, there we go. That's us right there. And if we. This is still not used. Why not? All right, let's go to the approach, which is runway 23. This is the ILS. And if we click here. All right, so the initial approach altitude is 3,000. And. Okay. We're landing. All right, so 7 ILS 750, 760. Okay. All right. So everything is looking. Oh, yeah, we didn't take a look at the weather. All right, so let's take a look at the weather here. So 224 knots, broken at 3,500, and temperature is 11. QNH 1013. Right, does this mean wind shear? SH Rish. I'm not sure what this one decodes to. Yeah. All right. We can turn this off. Perfect. So this week has been pretty much a Microsoft Flight Sim week. And yeah, it's not that I've abandoned X-Plane, guys. It's just that it so happens that there are so many releases. And I do have certain commitments that I need to meet with my partners. So hence, you know, the multiple Microsoft Flight Sim streams and videos. I really hope to see you guys in the upcoming on our Saturday stream. Osama, you're using DLSS 3.5 via DLSS swapper and the latest NVIDIA drivers, correct? That is correct, Chris, yes. That is absolutely correct. Okay. If we look here into cruise, we are about 213 nautical miles from top of descent, so we still have some time. I need to run and do a quick thing. So I'm going to leave you guys with this view here, and I will be right back. Won't be long. I just need a couple of minutes, and I'll be right back with you guys. Alright guys, I am back, and I just needed to take a quick break, and all is good here. Yeah, I really am looking forward to our group flight on Saturday, and I am very happy to let you guys know that there is going to be another group flight sponsored by ORBX. We're also going to be doing giveaways during that stream. We're going to be flying in Australia for a change, and we're going to be looking for some Christmas stuff in the locations where we fly as a group. I will be announcing I'll be announcing that group flight probably early next week, but it should be fun. And for those of you who enjoy group flights, I'm sure that you will find it to be very rewarding to fly with your fellow flight sim enthusiast. And I will be more than honored to be the host for the event and have you guys fly with me. Should be fun. Yeah. So that is also coming, another group flight. I know you guys have been asking for those. I've done one in the past. I know Dougal was there during our first group flight, first and the one and only group flight that I've done. Yeah, do you use voice comms in these group flights? Yes, Chris. We're going to be using a voice. All the details are actually posted in the stream video. If you click there, there's a trailer that I've created as well to kind of show you guys a little bit of the map where we're going to be flying. But I highly recommend that if you're participating, that you download the map and have a feel for some of the challenges, because some of them are seriously very challenging. And also I've included a link to the party book. The party book has all the challenges that we're going to be doing. And we're going to start at Millennium International during the flight, so TMFL, I believe. So we're going to start there, and we are going to progress through the challenges. Some of you may just follow me and follow the group, but you can wander around and complete the challenges, because we do need to complete all 12 of them in order to unlock the giveaway. So not all of us have to do all the challenges, so it is suffice it to say that one for each challenge is sufficient. So for all the 12 challenges, only one of us have to complete one of these challenges, but we have to eventually run through them. So for example, Dougal could do challenge number 2, Rand could do challenge number 4, I could do challenge number 5, and someone else does challenge number 6, and so on and so forth. So yeah, it's going to be fun, and the chat is going to be through the Discord CTAF frequency 122.0. Should be fun. Yeah, I'd love to chat with you guys, and please don't be shy. I know a lot of you guys kind of feel shy to come and chat, but please don't be shy. But if you are and you feel more comfortable doing it without the chat, then you're more than welcome to just join on the simulator. We're going to be on the East Asia server during that stream. I can switch the servers during flight because I have ProFlow if you guys encounter any issues. I know most of you probably are from the US and the UK, and you might find that server to be a little bit slow, but shouldn't be a problem. Overall, it should be okay. It will be my honor to have you, Chris. I take part in many group flights from different streamers. They are great fun. I absolutely agree with you there, Dougal. They are great fun. And speaking of great fun, if we look here, just guys, look at this beautiful scenery here over Italy. Look at that. The terrain is just absolutely gorgeous. Love the scratches there on the windshield. Very, very nice. Yeah. There, look at that. Very nice indeed. Let's see the outside. Look at that. Volotia. I don't know why this livery reminds me of the it reminds me of the brand LV. I'm not sure why. It looks like an LV bag for some reason. Yeah, I only know these brands because of my girls, my daughters. They're into these brands, and they mention to me all these brands, and I don't know what in the world they're talking about. But you know, you guys of course know Daddy has to pay, so there you go. I can't believe how expensive these things are. The tail is a very USA country western looking. Yes, it does. It does look kind of Look at the beautiful terrain here with the clouds. Yeah, that's the things I like about MSFS is how beautiful it looks, without a doubt. Yeah, join the chat. Q8 does not bite. No, I certainly do not. In Discord, we have the advantage of no voice delay. That is correct, Dougal. Yes. So whatever you see, you'll be able to see. It will be immediate. So should be fun. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I haven't done a group flight in a long time. Q8, my daughter has just turned 40. I can't believe how old I am. Oh wow. You know, Dougal. Let me tell you, that's what my mom said, you know, a couple of months back when I told her that I turned 50 next year. And she said, please don't ever say that in front of anyone. I said, why, Mom? She said, because you make me look very old. You see, age is just a number. It really is how you feel deep down in your heart. 148. Yeah, really age is numbers. And I'll tell you guys, blink and yeah, and you miss them growing up. Yeah, absolutely, Dougal. Absolutely. I'll tell you a story that a friend of mine has shared with me. He used to work in construction. So his life is basically his work, and they used to spend a lot of hours because normally in the morning they have all their paperwork and you know that sort of thing, and then in the afternoons they would actually go to the sites to visit the sites where they have a project, a construction project. And his kids at the time were very young. They were he had four kids, old boys. They were pretty young, so they were aged from 3 to 8, I believe. And you know, he told me that you know, he was a very strict father. He ran the house like a military camp. God bless his heart. And you know, his kids never mind. You know, they never minded that. They were fine with that. And you know, he said, I used to be very strict about how their beds looked, and you know, it was not acceptable for him to see like toys thrown on the floor and things like that. Everything had to be you know, in its place, and they had them clean their room every day, and you know, just he was very, very strict. And you know, when they grew up, obviously all his kids, he's an older person, and all his boys are now married and they have their own families. So when we were talking the other day, he said, you know, I really regret not letting them do what they wanted to do, and I miss seeing all the, you know, all the mess that they used to make in their rooms. Their rooms are empty. And they're not there. I'm very, when I go to their, you know, to their rooms and I look at their stuff from when they were young, you know, I just feel a lot of heartache that they're now gone. You know, they still visit him. I mean, it's not, but the moral of the story is, when your kids are young, spend the time with them, give them the time of day, and build memories with them. It's the only thing that they're going to keep of you when you're gone. So so that's what I as much as possible, I spend time, at least, you know, half an hour, 45 minutes, just make it a ritual where you go and spend some time with your kids and your family. Very, very important for their development. It's very important to be their friend in this time and day. I my style with my kids is not an authoritative style. So I like to be their friend. But there's, of course, a limit that you have to draw the line somewhere, because in the end, I'm their dad. So yeah. I do, sir. I was a medic. Stateside 6773. Oh, wow. Former Royal Marine. Yeah. Yeah, Rand is a Royal Marine. So is Carl, I believe. Ladies and gents, please join me in welcoming a very special guest here in chat. Allison Johnson, welcome aboard. It is just a number. Mine is a booming big, 57 in 2 weeks. Oh, well, you're the same. We're the same generation, Allison. Well, welcome aboard, my friend, and thank you very much for your support. I hope to see you in our group flight on Saturday, Allison. Should be good fun. Thank you, Dougal, for posting the links to Allison's Twitch channel. Guys, please head over to Allison's Twitch channel and give her a few hundred likes, subscribes, follow her channel, subscribe, show her all the love and support. She's an excellent content creator in my view, and she has a great sense of humor. Every time I'm on Allison's streams, you know, I have to... she makes me laugh. I'll have to tell you, she does make me laugh. So, yeah. Thank you very much, Allison, for the support. I appreciate it. All right, 102. Okay, so we are getting close to top of descent. So why don't we start setting up for our arrival into Costa Smeralda in Olbia. Whatever it is. All right, let's see here. Let me go to the MCDU, and we are going to go to perf. We're going to go to the next page here. Let me see here. Lots of things here. All right, next phase and next phase. All right, so the QNH is 1014, and done. And the temperature is 11 degrees Celsius. The cruise or the wind at the airport is variable wind, 1 knot, and variable winds. Okay, so we'll just put 0 and 1. And transition altitude is 6,000. VAP is 144, and we want the radio. So the radio is 760, and we set it here. 760 is set. Perfect. Everything here is good, and we are good. All right, so that's the first thing we need to do. Then we are going, let me just, all right, so we do have a VOR station here, which is the SME. So let's first go to radio, and we're going to put SME. All right, and it's more than likely going to be the first one here. Yeah, the one 156 nautical miles. So we're going to put that in VOR 1. Next, we are going to go to the progress page, everything. All right, so from the flight plan, we are going to select Geekin, and then we're going to go to the fixed information. We're going to enter the arrival. So if we go to flights here, so it is the LIEO, so Lima, India, Echo, Oscar, runway 23, and we're going to enter the radial, so 233 radial, and 10 nautical miles ring around the airport, and we are done. And the reason we've done this is, of course, just for situational awareness, as we normally do. So if I go to flight plan, lots of restrictions there when we arrive, which is okay. All right, so we're going to begin the descent in about 70 nautical miles from now. We are going to reset the MCP altitude to 3,000 feet. 1, 2, 3. Oops, come on. All right. I'll switch this back to arc. And let's verify the altitude is 3,000. Correct. All right. So all is good here. And just look at this beautiful scenery again. Very, very nice scenery here over Italy. Lovely. Captain USA. I can't click on the pinned comment. Huh. Well, I'm not sure why. I'm not sure which browser you're getting, but I can click it with no problem. It will expand and show you the link to track this flight via Volante app. Hello there, Andy. Welcome aboard, my friend. Made it home in time to catch a stream for once. Excellent. Well, welcome aboard. Glad to have you here with us, Andy. You're actually in time. We'll begin the descent shortly. All right, perfect. So I was looking over, I was planning to make a video. I never got around to it as, you know, this week has really been hectic. I've made the initial parts of the video, never got to finishing it. But again, for you guys with me here on the live stream, I'll share with you guys some of my findings. The Cessna 172 is a very popular aircraft. In fact, it is one of the most successful trainers. It's a very versatile aircraft. It's loved by you know, recreational pilots. And it's a great trainer. It remains until this day, with even all the modifications that were made to the aircraft, it remains to be one of the best trainers out there. And for that reason, it has gained a lot of popularity, even amongst flight simmers. And today you will not find a flight simulator without a rendition of the Cessna 172, whether it be Microsoft Flight Sim, X-Plane, Airfly FS, even RC games, you know, RC simulation has a Cessna 172, and again, it is a very popular aircraft. And we, as flight simmers, without a doubt, are now, you know, our standard has definitely risen over the years, and there are a lot of real-world pilots that use Flight Simulator for training. And so looking for a very realistic Cessna 172 has become something big for us, you know, flight simmers. We want to have a realistic 172. The reason being also, by the way, is that there are a lot of guys who get their PPL and they train on the Cessna 172 for their PPL. And I have done extensive research, and the reason that I haven't yet finished the video is just really work. But I have done extensive research, and I've looked at different add-ons for the 172, both in X-Plane and Microsoft Flight Sim. First thing to establish is, because the flight model in X-Plane is more realistic than MSFS, then it's definitely without a doubt that for a realistic behavior, it's always going. X-Plane is always going to win. 172, my favorite GA aircraft. Yeah, I think it's a favorite for a lot of us, Rand. the WebSim 172 is my absolute favorite and most used in MSFS. That is correct. Yeah, the WebSim 172 is great. But when we talk about realism, we're talking about 172 experience that is to the numbers, as per the pilot operating handbook, and that has accurate stall behavior, faults, wear and tear. It starts becoming a little bit more limited in what's out there. Now, in X-Plane, we have several of those. The most, I would say, let me just choose my words carefully here. The better ones, the better 172s in X-Plane 12 are the 172M by Thronda, probably the least favorite of mine from all the available Cessnas. Then there is the Airfoil Lab Cessna 172 Digital, the 172 Analog, also by Airfoil Labs, and then you've got the realistic flight model. I can't recall the name of the actual add-on, but there is an add-on that only doesn't change anything with the default Cessna 172. It uses the 172 by Laminar as the base model, but then make changes to it. Now this, in terms of the numbers, is by far the most accurate in terms of flying the aircraft to the numbers, as per the pilot operating handbook. But what I have found during my extensive research of the Cessna 172 and what's available there, I can tell you, and I'm very happy to report to you guys, that the best Cessna 172 experience in a flight simulator can be achieved through the default Laminar Cessna 172 coupled with the Reality Expansion Pack. Now the reason I say this is the Reality Expansion Pack it doesn't just bring the flight model changes to the aircraft, but it really makes the aircraft lives and breathes. Now the reason it is better than of course, in terms of the immersion and the realism, without a doubt, the Airfoil Labs Cessna is great. But the reason I tell you that if you want to make an investment and have a really truly authentic 172 experience in terms of flight model, behavior, oil, tear and wear on your tires, things like that, I highly recommend the Reality Expansion Pack for the default Cessna 172 by Laminar Research. Great add-on, and even the startup when you start, the animation of the propeller is like no other animation in the sim. And the guys over at Sim Coders, the guys behind the Reality Expansion Pack, have definitely done a remarkable job with the REP. I have to pick the RP 172. I flew 172. Oh, cool, Chris. Chris, if you've done the 172 in real life, I can assure you that you will really enjoy it. Now, it depends on which model you flew. So if you flew the M model or the S model, it depends which one you flew. The Reality Expansion Pack, I believe, models the Skyhawk or version S, I believe version S, or the S variant of the Cessna. And then you've got many other variants as well that you can fly, but and it costs less. So the Reality Expansion Pack actually cost $19.95 as opposed to $49 for the Airfoil Labs Cessnas, either the digital or the analog versions. So I think we're reaching top of descent here, 3,000. So if you are looking really for an authentic experience, guys, I highly recommend the Reality Expansion Pack coupled with the Cessna 172 by Laminar Research. The Reality Expansion Pack made a huge difference for me. I like Airfoil Labs Digital, but it doesn't feel the same. I totally agree with you, Stan. And I've done, again, extensive research on the numbers. So what I've done in order to come up, at this conclusion, I really hope that I can get some time to be able to show you guys. I've recorded the videos. I just need to edit them, so I have the footage. What I've done is I looked at the pilot operating handbook for a Cessna 172, the Skyhawk, Cessna 172 Skyhawk, and then I actually simulated takeoffs, landings with different configurations of the mixture, power settings, with flaps down, flaps up. I've done so many tests, and I started recording everything in an Excel sheet. So scenario 1, and then I test that scenario with all of the 3 aircraft. And I've been doing this for a very long time. It would be a shame that I cannot deliver this video to you guys, because I did put my heart out in that video, and I put my heart out in all the testing. But for those of you who trust my word, I would definitely vouch for the Reality Expansion Pack. If you don't want to spend the money on the Airfoil Lab Cessna, you have an alternative. It's going to cost you less, and the way it flies is second to none. I have to say that. I found RB to be very good. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. All right, top of descent, folks. And let's see. No, actually, let's do nav descent. All right, and here we go. We have begun our descent now towards Costa Smeralda. Is it? I have to memorize this. What is it called? Costa Smeralda. Okay, in Olbia. Olbia. Unfortunately, we don't have anyone from Italy today here to let us know how it's pronounced. No question, Sam. Thank you, Rand. Appreciate it. But yeah, we are now looking good. Looks like drag is required. So let me extend the speed brakes to slow down the aircraft. We're going to go to 240 knots. We should be fine in terms of the altitude. All right, restrictions are selected. Everything here looks good. And we'll put this on 40 for now. And we'll just wait for the speed to decrease a little bit. Very nice clouds. One more thing I need to do is for you guys to be able to see the replay. We're going to go to experimental and turn on the replays on apply, go back, resume. All right, perfect. I always forget to do that. I'm so looking forward to FS Expo, guys. And by the way, the mods I haven't received, for the exception of Stan, I haven't received. I know some of you guys will not be able to make it, but if you are going to make it, please do let me know your t-shirt size. Yeah, definitely looking forward to it. My son is going with me, and he's reminding me every day to go and do his visa. Shouldn't be a problem, I think, but it does take time for issuing a visa at the U.S. Embassy in Kuwait. And normally you have to do it by appointment, so you can't just go there. You have to get an appointment. So bags are packed. Hey, Stan, you're my man. I think Stan, at some point I will brief you. I need to brief all of you guys, mods. But Stan, yeah, I need to brief you on what's going to be different this year than the previous year. So at some point I'll connect with you guys over on the Discord channel, and I'll brief you guys on what is happening this year round. All right, speed brake. All right, there we go. Okay, so looking here, we have everything. Speeder at okay, why is it complaining about the speed at EO475? Let's see. It says speed error. All right, what's the speed next? 220. All right, so we can put 220. We can put 220 or E475 and insert. There we go. And we have changed the speed, and now we got rid of the error. Excellent. Let's go back to the flight plan. Everything's looking good. And here's status. Everything's normal. All the systems are normal. Perfect. All right, we're coming up here to 20,000 feet, and you can see the beautiful cloud here as we arrive into our destination. I really am looking forward to registration opens on Sunday. Should mods register individually, will be included in your sponsorship package. Stan, you will be included as a delegate of the channel, just like last year. If you want to register, you don't really need to, because I'm already going to put your name in. So I know you've booked your hotel room and your tickets. So yeah, you're going to be a delegate of the channel just like last year. So you'll have your badge and all that good stuff. So no need for that. I'll register you once I finish up with the guys. I'm waiting actually for them to come back to me. So here's a quick thing, just what's happening right now with FS Expo, and Tropicana, where FS Expo is going to be held. The tentative floor plan has been shared with the Diamond sponsors, because we have a priority on selecting where we want to be. Now, what I'm doing this year is very different from what I've done last year. Last year I had a small booth for me, and Stan and I were sitting in that booth. This year around, all I can say at this point is that we're going to have a bigger booth, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. We're going to be having, I'll let you, here's a sneak peek. We're going to have a streaming station on our booth, Stan. So it's going to be fun. I'm telling you, if you had fun at FS Expo 2023, FS Expo 2024 is going to be double the fun. So there you go. I'd like to drive to the expo this year, but would need to bring my wife. How many guys bring their better halves to the expo usually? Well, Chris, a lot of people actually showed up with their families in FS Expo. So in 2023, about, I would say 30, maybe 30% came with their wives. You know, believe it or not, Jeff Javiano came with his wife. So yeah, your wife will not be alone for sure. I'm sure she'll find, you know, a lot of, you know, people to talk to and mix and mingle with. I know that flight sim is a very male-dominant hobby, but I'm very glad to see more females getting into it. You know, Allison is a great testament to that. She's an excellent content creator. There is another content creator who's a lady. I can't recall her name. Maybe you know her, Dougal. I don't know. But yeah, I'm very glad to see more, you know, more females coming into the hobby. And but I assure you that it's a very family environment, Chris. So your wife will be just fine. And if you're ever there, if you do make it, please stop by, say hello, and I will be more than honored to take you, Stan, and whoever can make it for dinner. I'm more than happy to take you all to dinner, and for a chit chat. We are going to definitely also bring Captain Canada. He's just he's a fine gentleman, really fine guy. By all standards, he's just a great guy. Let alone, of course, the great service that he does to the community. But yeah, Captain Canada is definitely someone who I very much look forward to meeting at the expo. No worries, Chris. Hope to see you there, my friend. Oh, really? 4 or 5? Oh, wow. I didn't know that. It's a family-friendly environment, lots to enjoy, and exhibitors, and well, yeah, absolutely, absolutely, yeah, I agree, Stan. You know, it was. I'm very fond of the time there because I got to see a lot of the people that I otherwise only exchanged emails with. So Stan was one of them, and Stan was just my right-hand man. Yeah, he was with me all the time. So, but I got to meet, you know, Tim from Thrustmaster, Captain Canada, Blue Games, XB72. I've got to meet Julian Lockwood from Laminar Research, Thompson from Laminar Research. So those guys I have worked with for years. The guys from Tolis, again, the guys from Mark, from the maker of X Camera, Jeff Faviano. So many people that, you know, I've interacted with. Some of them I've worked very closely with for years. So it was really very, you know, it was just really a very heartwarming thing to finally meet these people that I've just, you know, worked with over emails and messages and things like that. So it was definitely, you know, lots of fun. And I got to see Texas. I have not been to Texas before, so it was my first time. Oops, landing lights. I'm talking too much, I think, during the stream. All right. So landing lights are on. We're going to turn on the seatbelt signs as well. And we are almost there now, ladies and gents, at our destination. The weather is... oof, look at that scene, guys. Just absolutely beautiful rendition of the clouds here as we arrive. The conditions aren't bad, so VFR conditions still at our destination. Yeah, we're looking consistent. All right, so all is good here. All is good. We're making our turn, 8,000 feet. We're gonna set Barrow standard. We're gonna go to the. We'll change the Barrow. It's about 6,000 feet. Thrust set simulation. Welcome aboard. Glad to have you here. And they were just as talked to meet you. It was non-stop, folks, in awe. Yeah, I picked up on that, Stan. Yeah, it was very humbling, very humbling. I remember, Stan, if you recall, on day 2, I believe, was it day 2 or? I think on day 2, I think for straight 3 hours we were not able to sit down. And finally, I remember I told you I'm tired. You know, I told you I'm getting tired. I'm getting old and I'm getting tired because you know, out of respect for people, you know, we did have chairs, but, you know, out of respect for people, if they're gonna walk up to me and say hello, I'm not gonna shake hands, sitting down. I don't do that. So it was just constant. We couldn't sit. The minute Stan and I sit down, you know, people start walking to us, and so it was a lot of fun, though, I have to say. I never thought that we'll have so many people come to the our little cube there and say hello, but the numbers were overwhelming. Just really I was very humble. It was nuts. So many folks wanted to come over, and they're photo taking and says they're appreciating. Absolutely, Santa. For which I am very grateful, guys. Very grateful. I cannot tell you how grateful I am. I just really felt, and a lot of the people that walked up, they said, Q8, we know that you've stopped making videos for a while, that you quit YouTube for a while. Please don't do it again. And those were really, you know, very kind words. You know, this kind of kindness is something that propels me forward. Is something that really makes me want to do more for the community. And so, yeah, I mean, very humbling experience without a doubt. Q8 pilot is famous. Well, I'll tell you, it felt like being a celebrity for a few days. Yeah, it's very humbling. You know, Stan, Stan was telling me, it's like, QA, you cannot be so humble, you know. you have to draw a limit there. But I looked in and said, I can't. It's just the way I am. God, I miss you, Stan. I have to say that I miss you, man. Yeah. All right. So, folks, back to our flight. We are getting pretty close to our destination. Here's the turn, and then we will begin. And everything is already set up, but we're just going to do a quick check here. We have the landing lights on. We're going to turn on the runway turn-off lights and nose to takeoff. Seatbelt signs are on, and we are the initial approach altitude is 3,000 feet. There are a few restrictions here, 220 until we reach EO 480. So that's cool. And we are flying away from the VOR. All right, looking good. ILS runway 23 is set. Everything is good here. We had a great time. It's good being on the same streams with Ever. He's the same guy in person as he's on streams. Hope you... Oh, thank you very much, Stan, again. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. All right. So, here we are. And once we are closer to the 10 nautical mile range, beg your pardon, we are going to begin the recording. Now, I will tell you that the approach into our destination today is very, very nice. It's a breathtaking approach. Really, very, very nice approach. So this airport is going to release on the 18th of December. So this is version 2 of Costa Smeralda, and existing owners who have the previous version are gonna get 60% off from version 2. So if you already own the airport, you will get it at a 60% discount. We will be taking a look at the airport once we arrive, but for now, let us focus on our flight. Okay. If we look here at our charts, this is us right there. We could actually start turning, but we'll just let the aircraft do its thing. And let's see here. All right, so 13.1 DME. Okay, we're not going to need that, hopefully. Yeah. All right, so we're making the turn now, as you can see here. The airport now, just look at even the water, by the way, the water animations in MSFS are done quite nicely, especially from a higher altitude. And I must say that the water animations and the reflection of the light on the water in MSFS is slightly better than X-Plane, as you can see here. But closer, when you go closer to the water, X-Plane looks better. The 3D water in X-Plane looks better at a closer distance. All right, here we go. Here's our turn. Look at this scene, guys. I mean, it just looks absolutely breathtaking. Very, very nice. Kemal Akbaba says, do you always use Visual XP in X-Plane 12? No. Not always. And normally, Kemal, when I have an add-on running, I normally announce it in the beginning of the stream So I'll let you know I'm using, for example, Visual XP, or I'm using, if there is anything new that I'm using, I'll definitely let you know. By the way, folks, the flight is 1 hour and 10 minutes. I know that we started the clock a bit late, but we are on time for the arrival at 1 hour when, so maybe we did it after maybe 5 minutes, so 1 hour and 6 minutes so far in flight, which is which is pretty cool. So I think we've done everything to the book today, and so far no incidents. Okay, we are now, you can see the beauty of this approach is the fact that the runway 23 resides between mountains on both sides, which makes the, well, they're probably hills, not mountains, but it makes the approach just really a very beautiful approach. I think the airport is right here somewhere. We can't see it because of the clouds, but we should be able to see it as we get closer. All right, we're still at the 10 nautical mile range here, so we are just going to verify everything. We're going to go to auto brake medium, and we're going to arm the speed brake, and we're going to leave everything else as it is for the time being until we are, when the glide slope is active maybe, is when we will start the flap configuration. I don't know why my iPad just all of a sudden on its own just turns off, and it makes me disconnect from the chat, obviously. So I'm not sure if it's going to come up before we land or after, but guys, wish me luck for this landing. All right, let's take a quick look here. 3000 set, auto brake. We've already set the landing altitude, so we're good there. And everything else is looking pretty cool. All right, once we are closer to the 10 nautical mile ring, we will enable the recording as well of our approach, so we can do a replay. What a spectacular view here as we approach the airport. Right, looking good. $3,600. As you can see here, we are arriving into the 10 nautical mile ring. All right, the chat is back. Brilliant. Thank you very much. Hey, Thought Brick, welcome aboard. Alrighty. Things are kind of getting dark in the cockpit here, so we're going to give it some floodlights and panel lights. All right, perfect. All right, landing system. And let's go approach. Cat 3, localizer captured. And here's the glide slope needle. Speed check, flaps 1. Right, I can barely see the runway, but we're looking good. Just look at how beautiful this approach is. All right, let's come here to the replay, start recording, and remove that. Perfect. Right, almost, I can think, yeah, that's the runway right there. All right, 10 nautical miles to the runway. Select gear down. Speed check, flaps 2. Look at that view, ladies and gents. Oof, beautiful. All right. We are looking good. Speed check. And flaps full. We have the runway in sight. We will disconnect at 1,000 feet. Very nice view. Variable winds, not very violent winds though. 4 knots, 1 knot I think what we saw in the weather, so variable and 1 knot wind. Looks like it is raining. Right, we are on the glide slope and the localizer. What a lovely view as we come into land. Right, cabin ready. We are cleared to land. All right, 1,000 feet. All right, my aircraft. Let me reset my view.
100 above. Minimum.
Bit off the localizer there.
$500. $100. 50, 40, 30, 20, retard, 10, 10, 5,
Reverse green. 80 knots. And welcome to Costa Smeralda, ladies and gents, in Italy. .337, that's a pretty rough landing there. That's a firm one, without a doubt. All right, flaps, let's retract the flaps. Landing lights off. Runway turn off lights off. Nose light to taxi. Strobe back to auto. One of the things I like about ORBX airports is the attention to detail when it comes to the ground marking. And as you can see now, this is many thanks again to the guys over at ORBX for providing me with an early access look at version 2 of the airport, which is, by the way, not an upgrade of the previous version, but rather a complete overhaul of the previous. So nothing from version 1 is being used here. All the buildings, texturing, Again, as you arrive at the airport, you can begin to see the lovely texturing of the ground, markings on the ground, and you can see the custom buildings there, the main terminal. Very lovely looking airport here by ORBX. Again, here's a look at that. Like a look at the details there. Lovely looking airport. You can see the Italian flag there. Right, here we go. Let's make a turn. Head over to the main terminal. Alrighty. Very nice airport. I think we can pick any of these positions here. This one seems a suitable one. Stand 101. All right, and parking brake is set. Brilliant. I think we are in a good position there for the gate. Maybe a tad. I think it's fine. All right. So before we shut down the engines, let's take a look at the replay. Good evening to you, Allah. How are you doing, my friend? Glad to have you here. Thank you for your support, my friend. All right. So we're gonna say stop, and then we're gonna play. And we're gonna move the aircraft just right before the arrival, which is right here. Then we're gonna click there, and now we'll be able to take a look at the replay of the landing here as we came into land. I could notice the variable wind because one time I'd feel the wind coming from the right, the other time, another just minute, you feel that the winds are coming from the left. So definitely felt the variable winds there as we landed today. What a spectacular really approach into the airport. Very nice indeed. There we go. In the touchdown zone, but yeah, we did float for a little bit, but still made it in the touchdown zone. Not a bad landing, but not a great one either. Yeah, it was all right. All right, so if we come back here to replay and stop that, and then just take the... Oop, where did the aircraft go? Oh, there we go. All right, so back in the aircraft. And we can come to the APU, start the APU master, and APU here, start the APU. All right, we can turn off the nav, we'll leave nav lights. We can turn off the taxi lights. Why is it not turning? Is it because of the replay? Let's see. No. Okay, that one works. So why is this now not working? Not sure why. The switches are not working. Alright, let's see if we can kill the engines. We can kill the engines. Something must have happened when we did the replay. And we can now cannot... did it turn off now? No. Yeah, those are stuck for some reason. So, but that's okay. Alrighty. Okay, so now we can see the jetway moving to connect to the aircraft. And now let's take a quick look at this rather, lovely airport by ORBX Simulation for Microsoft Flight Sim. First thing is I'm going to take you on a top-down view of the airport area. Again, just to get a feel of the area that has been modeled here with the airport. You can see again the BN2 Islander there in the hangar. So fairly I would say this is a small to medium size airport, not a huge airport, but I think what ORBX has done in this case is very good work in terms of the modeling of the buildings, the ground textures, as well as the airport clutter. I think they've done a fairly good job there with the airport clutter. You can see again the details there. Very nice work. Some cargo crates there, and all the proper naming on the buildings. I do like the buildings themselves. Again, they have this talent for creating buildings that look very realistic in terms of the textures. So, and the terminal here this time is also modeled. So there we go, static. The people do not move, but nonetheless, you do have a rendition of the interior of the terminal. Now, folks, again, as I've always said on all previous streams, I really don't care much for the interior, but it's nice to be able to create like a screenshot here, for example, folks waiting, if you're doing a video, a cinematic, or an airport review, it's nice to be able to, look at the terminal. But it doesn't really matter much for me. I think the outside matters a lot more. But look how they've textured this control tower to give it like an older look. And you can tell that, this is an airport that's just from the pollution, from the air pollution, that this has been affected by air pollution. The buildings have been affected by air pollution, which is pretty cool. I think they've done a really good job with this airport. We can also go a little bit. Let's go faster here. Fast forward or increase the speed of our camera here in Mubi. Yeah, I'm not sure again if this is part of the scenery or it might be, but yeah, they've the entire airport area is done very, very well. Here, this is definitely the beginning of the airport area. So if we look here and go to the alright, so let me just come here as if we're driving towards the airport. Here's the roundabout, and here is the entrance into the parking. And now you can see again the beautiful animations here. You can see the parking lot is done quite nicely. Again, to give the airport a very realistic look. Got all the buses here and people waiting at the entrance of the airport. This is arrivals, obviously. And yeah, I think the airport overall looks very good. I really love this this part here. This is my favorite part of this airport. This turquoise color building or rooftops are just really very, very nicely done. Again, it looks very realistic in my view. It's just they've done they're very talented. The guys over at ORBX are very talented. They create some really, really good looking airports. And normally their airports are optimized for performance as well. So I really do like their airports. I like what they've done here. And by the way, guys, both airports that we flew to and from today are available through chat command !scenery. Thank you very much, Rand. Appreciate it. Yeah, so the airport overall, again, the airport, guys, is in early access. It will be available in the on the 18th of December. If you are an existing owner of version 1, it's going to set you, it's going to be available to you at a 60% discount. If you're not an owner of version 1, obviously, you will have to pay the full price for the airport. Do I recommend it? If you fly in Italy, this is definitely an airport that I would recommend.
the airport vicinity. The airport is situated at a very beautiful area. It's an island. It appears to be an island, you know, to the southwest of the mainland in Italy, and it makes for a breathtaking approach, really over water and, as you can see, the mountainous terrain. So overall, this is a very nice airport to add to your collection. Let me show you the night lighting as well, so you can again get an appreciation for what the airport looks like during nighttime. Again, think that the night lighting is very well done, and this is an area, even in X-Plane 12, that ORBX really excels in, is the night lighting. They really do very beautiful night lighting, and they match normally what happens in real life in their rendition of airports. Their sceneries are normally fantastic. Again, you can see the custom lighting there on the taxiway, and the beautiful lighting of all the buildings and the stands here at the airport. Very nicely done. There you go. Very nice reflections there. The PBR materials again are done quite well. Overall, a very nice airport, and one that I definitely recommend. All right. Well, folks, this is pretty much what I wanted to share with you in this live stream. I hope that you've enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed streaming it for you. I will see you all on Saturday, the 16th of December, for our group flight. I hope to see you all there. Again, the Boeing Thrustmaster is sponsoring the group flight on Saturday, and they're offering the Q8 Pilot channel subscribers, friends, and followers a chance to win the Thrustmaster Boeing Captain Pack. Until then, please take care of yourselves and each other, and I will see you all very soon. Stay safe, and good night.